Let's read the rest of Michael's question and then I'll answer it. If you're willing to open up more in future videos, I'd be interested in how you've spent so much of your savings on Greater Commons thus far. What investments, outlays have given such a poor return thus far? Why weren't you able to build most of the site yourself? Lacking skills or lacking time? Let's talk about that, okay? So if you're willing to open more in future videos, interested in how you spent so much of your savings on Greater Commons, what investments, outlays have given such a poor return thus far? Why weren't you able to build most of the site yourself, lacking skills? So Greater Commons, I've been working on it since 2005. And I started building it in 2005. My life fell apart. My first wife, we divorced. She got it. Then it was discovered she had a brain tumor. She's since had surgery and is pretty much vegetative. But my life fell apart. And to pull myself out of a deep, dark hole, I went into spirituality and meditation and writing books. T. Scott McCloud, Amazon, not to sell them, just to look at that journey. I wrote about 50 books, and just would spell check them and self-publish them. And then met another gal, and awesome. We got married, had kids, and then 2013, I just turned it on, trying to support my family. And my choice was, I finished writing my last book in January 3rd of 2013. So my son was going to be born soon. And then it was like, I either need to start writing commercially and quit just writing what wanted to be written and try to make money there, or I could just double down on programming, and work coincided that I could do that. And so I just threw myself into coding. And then building Greater Commons, how much did it take? So that was 2005, I started it. And then 2013, I started coding up again and learning Go, and then started teaching Go. And then in 2016, May, started out coding it again. And so late to the game, that's the way life goes, but driven by the frustrations I articulated in the previous video, along with other frustrations where the teachers just weren't treated well, and it became very apparent that I was playing a game at a table where I was also playing against the house, and the house was stacking the deck. And so when you realize you're playing poker at a table with somebody who's stacking the deck, it motivates you to want to find a fair game or go build your own fair game. And so 2016 started coding it. And at first I was doing some of the coding, did a little bit of the coding, but then I've got so much happening in my life that I recruited 4 of my best students. And so Greater Commons has been burning about $8,000 USD a month to build it. And that's 200 USD grand, all of my life savings over 2 years. And that's just like the 8 a month. And then there's been some extra costs on top of that. So probably $250,000 USD, all of my life savings thrown into that. And so all of the money that I've made teaching elsewhere, gone, when you factored in that, and then also, just the additional cost of supporting my growing family. Like this house had lead in the pipes, had to re-pipe the entire house, $20,000, boom. And so that's where the money's gone. So it's partly lacking time, and then it's also partly lacking skills, both for myself, my entire team. I pulled on students, never with any professional experience. And so we've all been on a learning curve, and it's the school of life. And in retrospect, if I knew it was going to cost so much and take so long, maybe would have just hired, talent with experience and break it out. But that's the route that we ended up going. It just took us longer, and we've all learned on the process, and we have super solid architecture. So that's where it's all burned up, and that's the plank I've walked. That's the tightrope I'm walking, and the reason I'm motivated to do it is because I want to play at a table where the deck's not stacked, where it's a fair game, and I want to create a platform which is built by the community, built by teachers and students, for teachers and students, where what is forwarded is what is promised is what is delivered, and it isn't slipped out of for some little nuance here or nuance there. And so that's the story. That's where it's all been spent. If you need one successful course, just need one successful course, what is missing to make your Go Web Dev course successful? So I'll talk about that in the next video.